This video is sponsored by vidIQ. Today I'm helping you transform your shot from this to this using only natural light. I'm breaking down the fundamentals including positioning, camera settings, color temperature, and more, so that you can leverage natural light to your advantage and level up your content. I often see people shooting towards a window, and this is actually going to make it harder to look good. When you shoot towards a window, two things can happen. One, the window will get blown out, making a giant white glow behind you. Or two, you'll be able to see outside, but you'll be a silhouette. The best practice is to position yourself so that the window becomes your light source. You can either face the window directly, which will create a flatter look, or you can turn at about a 45-degree angle to create a more dynamic shot. When using window light as the main source of your scene, I'd highly recommend using manual camera settings. Natural light is not predictable. It will get brighter and darker over periods of time as the light moves and there's clouds and the environment changes. When your camera is on auto, it will try to predict what the light is doing and it won't always get it right. Plus, the sudden settings changes can often be a little bit distracting. Instead, you should set your camera to manual. Here are a few quick start settings. And if you want to dive deeper, you can check out my free, super simple camera settings guide, which covers the fundamentals of video camera settings, including resolution, frame rate, ISO, shutter speed, aperture, white balance, and more. It's designed to help you go from auto to manual in minutes. Color is a major part of how your image looks. Every light source produces a color temperature, and color temperature is measured by a value known as Kelvin. For example, this warm vintage bulb is around 2700 Kelvin. This lamp is around 3200 Kelvin, and this white softbox is around 5600 Kelvin. Know that for the most part, the color of daylight is 5600 Kelvin. Most cameras allow you to change the custom setting known as white balance. This will help you balance the color temperature of your image so that the white areas appear white. When it's balanced, the colors will be most natural looking. If it's too warm, everything will look a bit yellow, and if it's too cool, everything will look a bit blue. I would recommend starting by turning off all of the room lights and even going and closing all the blinds, and then just going one by one and seeing what does each window do to your scene. If you notice that the light coming from your window is too harsh, there's a few tools you can use to help. You can use the inside piece of a 5-in-1 reflector as a diffuser, which will help soften the harsher light. If you don't have a 5-in-1 reflector, you can also just simply use a large white bed sheet. You can also use the silver side of the 5-in-1 reflector to bounce some light on the shadow side of your face, acting as a fill light. There's not really a right or wrong here. As the content creator, you get to decide how flat or dramatic you want your shot to look. Now let's take a look at the final result while I tell you about today's sponsor. As a YouTuber, vidIQ is one of the most powerful tools that I use. I spend a lot of time shooting and editing, and I want to make sure that each video I make is putting its best foot forward. That's where vidIQ comes in. I don't know a ton about SEO or the algorithm, and thankfully using this tool, I don't have to. From recommended tags and keyword research to trend alerts and channel audits, vidIQ has become a massive part of my content strategy. Now I always know the best time to post, and I can see how my channel is performing against the competition. I've used other tools that are out there, but I found that vidIQ is the easiest to use, the quickest to set up, and the most effective. Now I spend less time optimizing and more time creating. All right, let's recap these steps. Start by turning off all the lights in your scene. Next, use a window as your key light by positioning yourself at about a 45-degree angle from it. Put your camera in manual mode and use these settings as a starting point, making sure to put your white balance to 5600 Kelvin. Add in a bed sheet or a diffuser to soften the light and create a more flattering look. Working with natural light is convenient, but not always reliable. To find out how you can use lighting to control and enhance your content, continue on to this video here. And as always, stay creative. Peace.